All right. What a great job. Stand up. Give it up for Spencer. Because it's Tuesday, right? It's Tuesday. Um, and Tuesday we send out our emails, right? We're sending out emails. Email is Tuesday day, and that's why we built that thing yesterday. This thing. What is this thing? This was the Dead Man newsletter. Let's make sure that we're live streaming. We're live streaming. People are watching. It's not private. Is it private? How are you watching if it's private? Um, we're live streaming. We're live, and it's up there. But yeah, learn to code class. We coded this like Dead Man newsletter. GitHub repo. It's there. You can use it. It works. You put in your email information, your SMTP information. You trust this application that you compile on your machine to hold that information. You create an app password. You do the full thing, and it will send out you themed spam to up to 500 of your closest content, your closest contacts, right? Gmail, I think, has a 500 limit. You use that limit. Like, take Gmail up on that limit. You should be spamming 500 friends. That goes way past Dunbar's number, right? 500 friends, you're hitting up, you know, that guy that you met at your nephew's birthday party 3 years ago. That might be your next boss, you know. Um, and you know what they say. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss, right? But how can you meet your new boss if they don't get a newsletter from you first on a Tuesday? Anyways, how's everybody doing? I feel like we were doing our like notes from the edge, brainstorm, job stand up thing, and then a sharp, jarring segue into my booming, monotone voice. Um, how's everyone feeling? Are we coding stuff? Does anyone want to share their note from the edge that they maybe didn't get to share with the job stand up class? Feel free to mic up or share your vibes in the chat on YouTube or the campus. What is a note from the edge? Well, the edge is a member of U2. Um, and we read a note that we've received. No, a note from the edge is like a brainstorm thing we do during job stand up to pretty much contemplate a like a fringe like tech themed note that you could use for content farming on on your social media platform, your vocational social media platform form of choice. There's only a handful of them, but you know, LinkedIn. Um, some people get jobs through Instagram. Some people get jobs through uh, uh, Twitter, formerly FKA Twitter. You know, but something that's or is anybody working on a personal code project right now? All right, we got some people in the chat. Um, Play says I started working on additions. Oh, to the Dead Man newsletter. it broke at 2 a.m. and I went Mimi's instead. Ah ha ha. I'm assuming Mimi's is sleep. Sleep is important. Sleep is how we refactor and refragment and defragment the brain. Um, Often, as a coder, when I am having a problem and I'm toiling away at the code, I'll go to sleep and I'll wake up and have my eureka moment and fix the thing that was haunting me the day before. I don't know what it is. Sleep is magic. Sleep is necessary. Um, so I do not want anyone losing sleep over the like GitHub repos that we're making in this class. So yeah, go to sleep. And then Play also started working on a grocery scraper to help them compare between stores for their favorite items. Yeah, we learned that yesterday, that scraping groceries was this weird sort of, I don't know, for like, it doesn't seem like, the platforms that handle the groceries do not like when you scrape grocery information, which is annoying because they're gouging their customers based on that data. This is something interesting too, that while nobody was watching, they subtly passed a law that allowed for dynamic pricing in all forms of retail and food service. When you go to like I'm pretty sure this is in America. This might be in other places already. But like when you go to McDonald's or Starbucks, if you're a good consumer, and you're going to McDonald's, you'll notice that the menu is digital. Why is the menu digital? Because they can now change the price of Big Macs at multiple times throughout the day based off of what the data show that people like about Big Macs. When will people pay $9 for a Big Mac versus $7 for a Big Mac, right? And then you have that video of the CEO of McDonald's taking a single bite of their new McDonald's burger, the big arch or whatever, and quickly spitting it out off camera or whatever. It just it's like putrid. But yeah, this is why we need the wet labs so that we can eventually work our way to making just brainless Big Mac orbs. Anyways, wow, that was a tangent, and I apologize. Somebody else, Misha, is trying to figure out Rust at the moment. Is that Susan? Susan's trying to figure out Rust at the moment. I like it better than Python. Notes from the Edge just got introduced to me today. I will have to consider what I might write about. Yeah, no, it's a fun prompt. And then Play says that Mimi is the sound you make when you snore. It's like the Looney Tunes cartoon sound effect. Me 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 me. That makes sense. All right. I've been leaving my phone in the car before I shop just to make it harder on them. Yes. But they got cameras everywhere and they know what your face looks like and they know how your gait cadence looks and they're tracking you through your partner's phone or through the phones of the people that are also in the store. But yes, trip it up. Maybe the best way to go against price gouging and dynamic pricing and all this sort of crazy stuff that Amazon and that the Amazon's, the Whole Foods, Amazon is Whole Foods now, that big grocery is doing at the moment. Go to your local farmer's market. Go to your local farmer's market and buy some fruits and veggies. There's no cameras in the park. There might be. There actually might be cameras in the park, but nothing's tracking you. You can get some nice, you get some uh, nice berries, some eggs, some mushrooms that have been foraged. Shopping at small bodegas. Yeah, this is all you know, uh, and it's just better food. You're not eating like the processed slop that we've been giving. Um, and then people in the YouTube chat, um, scraping grocery prices is a great way to fight back against grocery chains that surge pricing, dynamic pricing. Yes. Um, I keep a spreadsheet with lowest prices and average prices for my favorite things. That way I refuse to buy when they surge those prices. I have time soon to actually sign up for a class. I think I will take the creativity one and the agentic SDLC one. Um, yeah. Oh, they're all great. They're all great. Agentic SDLC, that class, life changing. Like honestly, if you like, yeah, we got some nods. Um, Agentic SDLC. I was using Claude completely incorrectly, right? I didn't know that you could just like be spewing brain dumping uh to Claude as it's working on things, as it's processing things. Um, if you're at a place where you've kind of hit a ceiling with vibe coding, and I hate that term vibe coding because I feel like it doesn't capture the essence of like when you're working on code. But uh, Agentic SDLC is a great class to take. If you have blockers with like a current application build, this is the class that will thread the needle on. I feel I don't want to be like a used car salesman for Liz's content, but it's so good. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, it does make a huge difference, and honestly, when you bump up your uh, Claude, your Anthropic subscription, you realize really quickly that it's worth it. It pays for itself. It really does. Um, and if you're worried about it paying for itself, like have it set up some sort of like consultation splash page for you so you can start literally like booking clients to pay for your subscription. And it's not all about money out here, but it is rough times out there. So, yeah, that whole idea of the accelerationists trying to push us into this tech underclass or this unemployed underclass or whatever. NPCs, people that don't know how to wield AI. It's all depressing, and I don't like the idea that like those that don't commit to learning how to use AI will be forgotten. I think there are still like things that you can do that don't involve AI. It's uncreative to think that that it's just everyone's gonna be unemployed because they didn't like choose to interact with the war machine. Anyways, not to disparage anybody from using AI. We use AI in this class. Uh, but yeah, so the Dead Man newsletter, we have a pull request on it. This person says I'm building a scraper for fart and smile. What is that? Uh, are you just like trolling the chat now? Do we have trolls now? Is this what's happening? Oh, okay, yeah. Fart and smile. Replace the letters of that, or yeah, think about a grocery store that rhymes with that. Um, uh, so if you or somebody else shop there, this person can hit up Astro Doctor Mister, because they'll share their little project with you. This is a West Coast chain, maybe. I'm familiar with it. But yeah, I don't want to give them business, so we'll call them by their pseudonym, Fart and Smile, because I like I like that. So we got this pull request into the Dead Man newsletter. Infinite Insight. I think that's you, Mr. E. Nevermore. They got Claude to help them out with this. We get this like really nice summary here. They made some email improvements built with TDD. What's TDD? Test driven development. TDD is important. Test driven development is important. Maybe we do something with TDD today. We may or may not continue working on the email application today. We had some ideas thrown around in the job stand up. I do want to get to this pull request, but also I want you to start kind of like brain dumping in the chat and thinking about maybe like a quick app build we'd want to do today. I had people in the chat that were talking about like DJing, OBS streaming, people that were trying to like get into content creation or streaming, and thought it might be fun to build some like Python tool for OBS, or just walk people through getting OBS to work on their machines, because sometimes that's not super straightforward. But we could also continue working on the email newsletter. We could go full like grocery calculator mode too. Um, it's really up to you. Post your ideas in the chat. Whatever you think we will build. We're not doing the we've veered off of the like group based week projects. Now we're building things daily and maybe revisiting them. If we have fixes for them. But I am checking the crab pot for today, and by that I mean I'm looking at the pull requests, the PRs that have been made on the GitHub repo, and I see one beautiful golden crab inside, and it's Infinite Insight, who an hour ago, right before class, they got their pull request in. And it looks like they did some test-driven development. They set up some email. They fixed the core email infrastructure. New module composing full HTML emails with configurable font, header, footer images. HMAC signed. What is HMAC signed? What does HMAC stand for? Uh, uh, ba ba ba. Hash-based message authentication code. HMAC, hash-based message authentication code. Um, so this signature acts as a tamper-proof seal, allowing the recipient to verify both the message's integrity and its origin. It is the digital equivalent of having one of those like wax seals that you press your ring into. That's your HMAC, I guess. Per recipient send loop. So it builds a personalized email per contact. That's a good idea. So like you have a newsletter, right? I'm imagining how this works is you have a newsletter and you could like flag specific users and have different emails send out to those users, or singular users, specific users, or emails. Settings and tracking, they updated the settings page, one by one GIF pixel. Oh, it's a token. Oh, okay. This shows the HMAC verification and count. Oh, you're tracking the opens. This is good, right? This is doing some like MailChimp stuff. One click unsubscribe. Oh yeah, this is like we have to make it so that they can unsubscribe. This is like a legal thing, right? And then you added quill.js, which is a framework that's a rich text editor because the input before was weird, and uh, we got 12 fonts, percent font, blah 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 blah. URL shortener, template improvements. This is the one that I'm concerned about, right? The deployment. We got a Docker file with a YAML, um, uh, and yeah, it looks good. But as somebody who's vibe coding using Claude with this, I want to ensure that, and I know you, Infinite Insight, you do great work, right? I trust you, but when somebody just throws Docker files into your project, um, you want to make sure that you're not like branching into something you're not like taking a PR that has nefarious content in it, right? So let's fire up Claude for the day. Um, Claude, and then we're doing our dangerously skip permissions tag. Um, Hey Claude, good morning. There was a pull request made on the repository. Can you check the changes made within this pull request and make sure that it's secure? Just use bash. So it's having trouble logging into the GitHub. So let it think about that for a second. But yeah, it's gonna check out this pull request. I'm gonna check to see if anyone had any ideas. Um, Comfort with IDEs like VS Code, Terminal. Oh, this person asks, how much coding should you have before trying the agentic SDLC class? Um, it's always good to know, um, like, kind of like different like basically how to compile a project on your computer, how to run uh, in like a program in your chosen language, right? So if you're trying to figure out Rust for the sake of just learning Rust, or if you're trying to figure out Rust for actually building a project that specifically like necessitates Rust, then learn how to compile programs in Rust. Um, think about what you're trying to build. Part of like the pre-work for the agentic SDLC
Job is
class
done.
is thinking about the. All right, so ba 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 ba. Yeah, part of the pre-work for the agentic SDLC class is like having a feature build or a application in mind. So really, when you start like honing in on what you're trying to build, then the coding language that you're using for that will kind of fall into place. But you'll want to know how to kind of compile and test a project in that coding language, just even like a simple boilerplate project before taking the class, just so you could follow along and not get super lost. But you really don't need to even know that. It's just good to know. So yeah, Play says a few learn to code projects is good enough. Comfort with IDEs. So comfort with like VS Code moving around the terminal on Mac and Linux, the console. and learning how to use Git. So getting into these repositories and making pull requests and interacting with the repos that we set up in class, super important. Cool. So security review. Uh, PR adds safe to nearly every user supplied field. Uh, no server side sanitization. A malicious or compromised admin could inject script tags. Blah blah blah. That's not an issue because like what we would be looking for is if the pull request actually had uh, malicious or compromised injections already. We're hosting this locally. It's not deployed and facing users yet. So um, unsubscribe via GET request. Okay. The code itself acknowledges this. Email security scanners prefetch links which will auto unsubscribe recipients before they even read the email. Interesting. Um, so we would, all right, unsubscribe on post instead of get on that. Did you already knew this? No CSRF protection. Um, API key stored in plain text. Um, trivially inflatable. All right. Well, can you attend to all of these issues to the best of your abilities and merge this pull request? Thank you. Um, cool. So while it's working on that, we have interest in streaming, in content creation. I want to kind of dig into that as a class. People in class have been talking about how they wanted to make content. Uh, would y'all be open to sharing what sort of content you wanted to make? Feel free to mic up or post in the chat.
Hi, Nick.
Hey,
Um, so kind of, I would like to do a collaborative thing, not necessarily a podcast, but I am really interested in doing some Twitch streaming with the kind of emphasis on, I don't want to say re-education because that sounds very communist, but educating oneself and the idea that you can do it no matter what your beginning is. Um, because I feel it's been an attempt to burn people out of the idea that they can learn by making it incredibly boring. And it doesn't ever have to be that way. Um, and just my stint in public schools from high school to elementary have convinced me they're really doing it wrong. So obviously, I'll be more adult people, but that's kind of what I'm working on right now, hence the OBS and all the other stuff that I'm wrestling with.
awesome. Yeah, I think educational content is super rich content. I mean, we're all getting together here to learn to code. People like learning things. And I learn things as I teach these classes. It feels good. So um, I'm all for people kind of contemplating content creation and sort of like exorcising the maybe the blockers that we have around just like getting our stuff out, right? I think that there's a lot of issues not only with like the tech of it all, but just like perfectionism and a fear around the idea of performance in a sense, uh, especially for I see it with people who have like uh, teaching experience, like
Hmm.
real life teaching experiences. You've been
Oh
in
yeah.
front of classes, so it's this is it's different because sometimes it feels a little bit more like being like almost like a there is an interactivity to streaming when people show up to the class.
Hmm.
Sometimes people don't show up to the class, but like when people do show up to the class, there's an interactivity to it that feels very much like teaching IRL, in your
Oh yeah.
classroom. Um, when people don't show up, it feels more like you're in like a radio booth or you're speaking into a void. Um, so that that I think fighting through the early moments of like maybe like 1 to 2 people showing up during an hour stream that you do and fighting through the like kind of like disappointing energy of that and realizing that at the end of the day what you have is like the content from that. You can clip that, you can throw it up on your account, that there's still a use to going up and getting out and doing an hour stream even if nobody shows up day one.
Hmm.
um, Maybe by day 20, day 30, there's you have an audience of a dozen people. And I feel yeah, I've noticed with my friends who are like who come from a teaching or educational background that that's the hump is like like teaching to a class of none is like awkward. It's weird. What do we say?
Yeah.
Um, but for the tech of it all, right, we can also find ourselves in this place of like, oh, I need OBS, I need a webcam, I need to like make sure that all these drivers work on my computer. I need a nice microphone. I'm using like NVIDIA Broadcast to cancel out the pauses or filler words or whatever, make my voice sound different. And then for streamers that have like a more
Job is
interactive
done.
visual to it, maybe they're playing games or they're showing stuff in the background. uh, Sometimes you need like a beefier computer to do it. It's people get kind of lost in the like hobby hyperfixation of it. um, like I'm gonna spend so much money on this thing. And all right, cool. PR is merged in domain with the security fixes committed on top. Would you like me to push to the remote? All right, let's see.
I actually went to Claude and I just said, how can I do a bare bones stream? And I want to do it with Linux because there are more resources that I don't have to pay for. And it kind of helped me do an outline. It just kept asking me questions, fine tuning it. I think it's very doable. And I'm using some old phones as cameras.
Job is
So
done.
why not?
Nice. Yeah, old phones as cameras. Yeah, I feel like people forget that some of the best cameras that you have access to are going to be um, your phone, and
Hmm.
that there's ways to sort of set up your phone as OBS out. That could be a cool thing to do today. Do we want to do that? Maybe.
Ooh.
No. I haven't done it before. I would love to know how to do that. So, um, git commit PR infinite insight PR edition. All right. And then git push u origin main. Bop, bop, bop. All right. And it's so you've been pushed Infinite Insight. We'll test it out another time. But know that this GitHub repo is your one-stop shop for your Dead Man newsletter. Your send send out an email to 500 or whatever amount of people. 500 is a lot. Maybe test it out with 20 to 50 people at first. But yeah, it's getting hot here. It's like it's gonna be like 96 degrees today, and it's like I'm serious. I don't know what this heat wave's about, but I had my air conditioner on during job stand up, and the it blew a circuit, and the power on half of my house went out. So Modbot for streamers who don't have a moderator for their chats. Rule sets that allow for banned language, disallow links, how many chances to give before, etc. That sounds great. Um, I love it. Let's let's make this project happen. Cool. So skip permissions and oh, it's all in this Python file is getting kind of gross, but it is week 6. Separate from uh, the email newsletter application, can we build an application to be used with OBS as a mod bot for streamers who don't have a moderator for their chat? So imagine somebody starting out as a streamer and they have their chat, and we have like a way for the chat to overlay in OBS. But the bot itself will be able to act on different rule sets to ban language, disallow links, and give people warnings, ban users, etc. Is there specific? Do we want this for Twitch? Twitch, yes, in the chat. Yeah, I guess we'll do Twitch. Twitch. Our YouTube. Our Discord. All right, it's going. Um, cool. So let's check out OBS. Who here who here uses OBS? Susan, you use OBS. Um, Play, are you familiar with OBS? Anybody in the YouTube chat? Yes, 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 yes. And then yeah, the YouTubers. Cool. So I am going to download OBS. Um, if you don't have it on your machine, this is what we're doing. Uh, and we'll open it. Oh, all right. So it's already running. So I can't install it as it's running. I have an older version of OBS here. The thing about OBS is you can run multiple instances of OBS. And why would you want to do something like that? So you could have different things on your different OBSs, right? So here is what OBS looks like. Whoa, why is it coming up like this? Um, let's docs, lock docs, full height docs, reset docs. All right, so here's what OBS looks like. Beautiful, we love it. I'm gonna make a new scene. So scenes are like basically where you could edit what what you're streaming out in OBS. Um, and then you can add different sources, and sources can be of various different types. You have audio input, you have browser source, you have a color source, which is basically just like a square of color. um,
Job is done.
so you can have a color source. You can have uh, display capture, which is display or an application. Game capture, which is just an application. Um, image slideshow, input overlay, media source scene, text, video capture, window capture. So you could have scenes within scenes. So you're like transitioning between different scenes. Um, OBS, Open Broadcaster software, right? This is basically your broadcasting dock for whatever application, whatever broadcasting platform you're on, whether it's Twitch, Kick, YouTube. Um, uh, you know, you can send out OBS feed to a bunch of that. You could have a custom server that you're sending out
Job is done.
your feed to. So, all right. Cool. So we got a question. Okay, scope is growing. You're thinking multi-platform, Twitch, YouTube, and Discord. That's actually a smart move since the core moderation logic is the same regard. Here's how I architect this. Multi-platform modbot, core idea, one rule engine, multiple chat adapters. Um, REST-based polling. Just takes a message string and user's metadata and returns violation. Each adapter. Question before I start building: do you want all three platforms for day one, or should I build the core in one platform first? Um,
Core.
yeah. Should I build the core in one platform? Build the core and YouTube first. Currently streaming from. Want to be able to demo this immediately. It's,
Hmm.
yeah, so we'll see what it does with that. And let's see. This is just its like schema outline. So we'd have it'd be Python based. It has a SQLite schema for storing rules in. Rules.py, which I assume would be kind of a controller for yeah, platform agnostic rule engine. Uh, platform agnostic just means YouTube, Discord, Twitch, platform
Hmm.
agnosticism. Um, Web.py, Fast API dashboard, and WebSocket for OBS overlay. I don't know Fast API. I'm sure that's something that I should know. Um, Fast API is a modern fast web framework for building APIs with Python. So it's a standard Python uh, framework. All right. Fast API. OAuth helpers per platform with auth.py. So we're handling authentication. You authenticate through the platform. So you want to make sure that Twitch, you're authenticated with Twitch, you're authenticated with Google through YouTube, you're authenticated with Discord, um, and then adapters. We have so a base dot py, which acts kind of like plugging it in, and then we have kind of dongles for Twitch, YouTube, and Discord with these adapter twitch.py, youtube.py, discord.py. So YouTube uses live chat, whatever that is, live chat API. Web dashboard, OBS browser source, etc., etc. All right, and starting to code now. Starting with the foundation and the YouTube adapter, the YouTube dongle. All right, so it's going to ask for uh, API key, client ID, client secret, YouTube channel ID, ba ba ba, Twitch modbot database. Interesting. Now the web dashboard and templates. All right. No, it's doing a lot here, doing some heavy lifting. Is there anything else that we should add to this while it's going? This person
Hmm.
says fast API is great. Um, I want to look up what was it called? YouTube live chat API. All right, so YouTube live chat API. Um, this might be a little bit of a bugaboo for this class. Um, uh, so sets up a gRPC client. gRPC. God, can we just stop using acronyms? Uh, local object that allows an application to make calls to methods on a remote gRPC server. Yeah, I know. But what is gRPC? Modern open source high performance remote procedure call framework. Okay. Whatever that is. Sorry, I'm like, uh, cool. Often referred to as a stub. A stub. So kind of like, yeah, a remote procedure call of some kind. Yeah. Live chat messages dot stream list method to push live chat messages to your client over a long-lived connection. Um, to push chat messages to our client, but how do we read them? I'm sure it just reads them also. So you install the gRPC tools, this pip install grpcio, pip install grpcio hyphen tools, and then has a couple other languages for generating those client libraries. Um, is this important for making an OBS tool? No. Is this important for reading your chat specifically from a YouTube stream? Yes. So if you're planning on streaming with Twitch, this might not be, this would be kind of like a rabbit hole, if you're planning on streaming with YouTube and you want to do stuff with a chat overlay, this is your documentation here. Python streaming client, Streamless demo, blah, blah, blah. And then you have a YouTube API key. Interesting. We'll see how Claude's doing. gRPC streams run over two connections that allow servers to specify a limit on the maximum number of concurrent streams. Attempting to open too many streams on a single gRPC channel can lead to increased latency or errors as new stream requests are queued or rejected. Yeah, this is like the part of the class where I say I'm super confused. And maybe this is something that Claude will figure out. Will we get a chat overlay working? Who knows, right? Who knows? Um, I will show you a solution that I have for what is it? Twitch. Let's see if I can open it somewhere here. Uh, bu- 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 I don't know. I forget what that site's called. OBS overlay Twitch. Stream Elements. Stream Elements is what I use for Twitch. So let's see. I'll log in with my Twitch account. What is my username on Twitch? Oh, my device, my device. All right, so this is what Stream Elements looks like. Take that off there. Um, I have made $0 on my Twitch account because I haven't been streaming anything, but I used to stream on Twitch. I just haven't in a while, so don't make fun of me. Um, but streamelements.com. This isn't coding per se, but there's a little bit of coding involved in it, right? You can go to your streaming tools and overlays, and I have, what is it? Unnamed overlay, or maybe latest brother, um, Neek affiliated, um, latest brother. I don't. All right, cool. Yeah, so I have this like overlay set up that my chat will open, and I have like an alert box for when people follow. It makes the what is that? Um, uh, Gosh, what was that show? Tim Allen.
Job is
Wow.
done.
Home Improvement. It makes the Home Improvement.
Job is done.
Um, Home Improvement. Yeah. So what it does is it gives you a URL in here, and then in um, your OBS, we can go back into OBS. We can uh, open the browser source and enter in that URL that it gave us. I think that should work. No? Huh. Maybe not browser source. Maybe something else.
Job is done.
Media source, video capture, window capture. Uh, let's see. Uh, Maybe I have to look this up. uh, how to use stream elements in OBS. To use stream elements and login, blah 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 blah. Create overlay, add widgets, Add to OBS. Add a new browser source. Paste the URL and set width and height to 1920 by 1080. But it didn't do anything. Huh. This is annoying. Follower goal. Up, up, up. But it doesn't play from here. Well, usually this works, so I am wondering. So you would take your stream elements and you could use it from OBS, but it's not working for me right now for whatever reason. Huh. I got a subscriber gift. Somebody tips $10 if somebody subscribes. Well, I mean, I made a great little overlay here, but... Oh, okay. Maybe this will work? I don't know why it's not working. I don't know why it's not working here. Maybe I can get it working in my other OBS. Oh my gosh, it is working in here. Oh, maybe it's like a weird thing where you have to have it like working in, if it's in one OBS, it doesn't work in another OBS. So, for those of you on the YouTube stream, you can now see an overlay, maybe? And now we're getting like very feedbacky, but not audio feedbacky. We're just visual feedback. You should be able to handle this, right? In my OBS stream, yes, we saw it. This guy's like, don't do it again. I'm gonna do it again because check this out. Oh no, okay, now we get audio feedback. There we go. But that's the Italian plumber game sound. Because can we say that on? Anyways, it is 11 a.m. But we're gonna check in on what we were doing with this YouTube thing. All right. Create. So stream elements for Twitch people. Stream elements for Twitch people. If you want to add really cool animations and sounds, these are custom animations I made, right? True story. I make really weird 3D art. So background command, create VMV and install the dependencies completed. So it made a background command to apply or to go into a virtual environment. So we're building another Python program. We set up a virtual environment like we did yesterday. And I am responsible for the pink gremlin. Yes. Dependencies were installed. All 32 tests passed. Let's see the above steps to get it running. So create a project, enable YouTube data API. Download is, all right, that is a lot of stuff there. Yeah, let's see if I can do it from my account. So truth be told, this account that I'm streaming from is not my specific account that's tied to the multiverse. So I think I might be limited in what I can do in creating this these credentials, and I don't think that's something that I can actively do during the stream. But to walk you through what you would do, Claude's basically saying Google Cloud Console. We opened that yesterday when we made our app secret. You create a new project and you're enabling this YouTube data API, creating OAuth credentials, downloading a client secret into the Twitch modbot folder, and then setting your channel ID in that environment variable folder. And then to run it, you could run it locally. When you on first run, it's going to open a browser for that Google OAuth consent. So it's going to log you into your Google account, and then you go to localhost 8080, and then the OBS overlay would be localhost 8080 overlay. Cool. So what this would look like in theory is, let's see if we can get this in here, is if we took something like this, browser, maybe, or wait. Yeah, all right, so we'll do a browser source. Actually, no, we'll do a window. Our display capture. Display Bink. All right, what this would look like in theory is like, we got our chat here, and now I'm blocking myself, and then we move me. Chat's going, chat's going, chat's going. Somebody posts something that's a bannable offense. They're banned so that while I'm doing my super intricate sort of waxing philosophic and slightly coding in front of people, it would catch that and be like, yeah, spam, and it would be like, get out of here. And then we'd see what would we see? We'd see something like this. Wait, wait, do we play animations when people get banned though? That's probably more that's probably not a good idea. We don't want to like celebrate people getting, or maybe, I don't know, we could celebrate people getting banned, but like we shouldn't post the comments that they got banned for on the screen with animations. That's bad. But this is important, right? Because so basically, all right, we reach this blocker in class, and we reach it a lot, right? It's one in which you need to go into Google Cloud Console, or go into your Twitch account, or go into your Discord settings, and you need to generate an API key, right? Claude won't do this for you. OpenClaw might do this for you. You shouldn't want Claude to do this for you. You want to, whenever you hit that blocker of setting up credentials, ask Claude nicely, can you walk me through doing this? Right? And that's why with the email newsletter, the Dead Man newsletter, we had basically Claude make interactive checklists for Gmail, for Zoho, for Outlook, for all these different mail service providers. Claude will walk you through how to grab those API keys, right? It's a frustrating thing to do as a developer. Um, and you're not going to remember what all the different consoles and GUIs for these different platforms look like, or where you store this thing for Google, and then Google updates a couple months from now, and now all you need is an app password, but you have to set up two-factor authentication. But now YouTube's chat API is owned by, Oracle or whatever, like, uh, use OpenClaw cautiously for sure. Um, uh, when you are first setting up your content streams, um, you're going to hit this sort of wall too, where you're just by yourself in this world, right? Unless you have a friend that can moderate with you, but maybe you don't have that, so I think this is a helpful solution, having some sort of automated um, moderation, obviously. But yeah, now I'm just rambling a little. What I will try to finish for today is this moderation bot as sort of a boilerplate. Um, I would suggest, if you're interested in streaming content and you haven't done so already, setting up a your Twitch account, setting up the YouTube account that you're going to be streaming from, and then a little bit of homework is figure out how to stream from OBS. I think YouTube, if you just started just made your YouTube account, or if you don't really have any activity on YouTube, or you haven't applied to go live on YouTube, I think there is like a 24-hour wait period in which they do a quick review, and then make sure that you're not going to just immediately start live streaming horrible things. If you are somebody who wants to immediately start live streaming horrible things, there's a site for that, and it's called Kick. But I don't know. I'm not going to encourage that sort of behavior out here. Um, Twitch is same deal. I think you can get off streaming pretty immediately. But again, you're going to want to make sure that you look into sort of the terms and services privacy policies associated with those sites. Twitch has a pretty quick setup. Stream Elements is what I'm using for these annoying overlays with Twitch. These are obviously just emulations because I'm not actively streaming to Twitch right now. But if you do end up streaming your content, I want to see your content. I will be in the chat room. And yeah, uh, if anyone has any questions, feel free to post them in the chat. Mic up on campus. If not, I am going to stop the stream and leave y'all to whatever you're doing for the rest of your Tuesdays. But yeah. Oh yeah, Susan, the people want to know what your handle is whenever you start streaming. Um, Education. What can you teach the world? The least you could do right now is teach people, you know?
I think people have too narrow a definition about learning and education itself. And when you start out small, everything becomes your education. I know that sounds like a soft line, but it really becomes much easier. I don't have a handle yet. That's actually one of the things I'm kind of being a little bit circular in my thinking about, because my understanding is once you pick something for Twitch, it's very hard to change the name. So I want to make sure I'm thoughtful about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, come up with a cool name and let us know when you got it. Um, as for that, I am going to head out. Um, Yeah.
Thank you again.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for showing up. Code something today. And I'll see y'all later.